Whatever happened to the Democratic presidential race with all of the focus on Trump and Cruz and Rubio and Jeb and Carson and Christie? It seems like the contest on the other side is over, which is pretty much what the press has concluded, which is why you're not seeing or hearing or reading a lot about Hillary and Bernie Sanders. Sanders not too happy about this. The other day, his campaign manager put out a statement saying that the corporate media, let me find this here, the corporate media are not being fair to the senator from Vermont because they may not like his anti-establishment views. And citing statistics showing he's barely been covered on the network evening newscast, ABC's World News, 81 minutes to Trump, 20 seconds for Bernie Sanders. Well, Sanders has a point. He's been drawing big crowds and generating some grassroots excitement. But even on the print side, his coverage has faded because you look at the polls and the pundits, who are never wrong, we know this, right? Have concluded that Hillary is going to be the nominee and that Senator Sanders really has no shot. She's up by 20 points about in the latest NBC Wall Street Journal poll. And even in Iowa, which was thought to be a state where Sanders might knock her off, she is up now by about 9 points in the latest Des Moines Register poll. And you look at the fall matchups, and Hillary does pretty well against some Republican candidates, particularly Donald Trump, beats him by about 10 points, beats Ted Cruz by 3 points, but also losing by between 1 and 3 points to Ben Carson and Marco Rubio. So you would think, since Hillary Clinton is a potential next president of the United States, she'd be getting more coverage, and there has been some. But what's happened is there isn't much of a horse race, and that tends to leave the pundits with not many horses to cover. So I've been hearing from some of you saying, what about Hillary's email and why aren't there more investigations? Well, I'll remind you that the email story broken by the New York Times got an enormous amount of attention from the major media outlets for months, really, and it really took a toll on Hillary's trustworthiness and honesty numbers, but there just haven't been many new developments. I mean, 8,000 pages were released 10 days to 2 weeks ago, and everybody wrote about it, but it was mostly about, she couldn't find the right channel to watch Homeland. There wasn't much about, for example, Benghazi. So I think we have a responsibility to keep covering Hillary Clinton, whether or not Bernie Sanders is giving her a run for her money. But this is sort of the law of media thermodynamics. All the action and all the candidates on the Republican side, the Republican debates are drawing huge audiences. The Democratic debates, not so much, and particularly because some of the broadcast networks are putting them on Saturday night when people are doing other things. So eventually this will balance itself out, but it's so competitive on the Republican side and such a seemingly foregone conclusion on the Democratic side, although we could always be wrong. Hillary, for the moment, not really on the media radar.